Hi everyone, welcome back to another how-to guide. My name is TS and today I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process of installing NetBox on an Ubuntu server using VMware Workstation application. As usual, before we begin, let me walk you through the agenda for today so that we are all on the same page. I will cover the introduction section where I will explain the what and why NetBox, and then I will go over the prerequisites and then get on with walking you through the installation steps. And finally, I will test NetBox Server by logging into the GUI using the admin account. So, what is NetBox? NetBox is a powerful open source tool that is responsible for managing and documenting your network infrastructure. Whether you are a network engineer or responsible for maintaining a data center, NetBox can streamline your operations and make your network management a breeze. It is a robust and flexible tool that helps organizations plan, track, and document various aspects of their networks, including IPAM. IPAM stands for IP address management, where NetBox allows you to efficiently manage IP address assignments, subnets, and VLANs. It tracks IP address allocation, detects conflicts if there are any, and provides detailed information about IP address utilization. It also offers device inventory. You can use NetBox to maintain a comprehensive inventory of network devices, including routers, switches, servers, and many more. It stores information such as device name, their device model, serial number, and even the physical location. Other features such as cabling and connections, where NetBox enables you to document cable connections and visualize network topologies. You can easily see how devices are interconnected. Other features such as data center rack layout, power distribution, virtualization, custom object tracking, etc., etc., etc. NetBox offers all of that. So NetBox is written in Python, which make it highly extensible and customizable. It is well suited for both small and large organizations looking to improve the management and documentation of their network infrastructure. And NetBox is widely used in the IT and network community. It is considered a valuable tool for network engineers, data center administrators, and anyone responsible for maintaining a complex network environment. Before we begin, make sure that you have the following. We will need an Ubuntu server with sudo privileges. We will also need a strong and secure database password and some basic knowledge of the Linux command line, guys. So I will assume you have the prerequisites and you are good to go. I will open up the NetBox documentation page since it is the most efficient way to install the application. So what I'll do, I will open up a web browser and start typing here NetBox documentation. And you'll see the first link is what we after here, but that would depends on your search engine. And the link that you need to watch out for is docs.netbox.dev. I will click on that link. And as you can see, we've got loads of options on the left-hand side menu that you can go through. But what I'll do, I will click on the installation upgrade option. And as you can see, in order for us to install NetBox, we will need to install at least 5 components. These are from one all the way to 5. The sixth component is optional, and since we are doing this in a lab environment, we are not going to install this option in this video. Before we proceed, we need to log into the Ubuntu server via the CLI using a terminal application. So I'm going to do that right now. As you can see, I've logged in. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and proceed to the first requirement that need to be installed. I'll click on PostgreSQL. So in this step, we are going to install a local PostgreSQL database For those who might not know, PostgreSQL is often referred to as Postgres, and it is an open source relational database management system. Please be aware if this component has been already installed, then please bypass this step. Otherwise, I'll proceed with the installation process. Okay, so first things first, we will need to update the server first. So what I'll do, I'll copy that command and I'll paste that there. Once the installation is complete and successful, we can then proceed to the next step, which is installing the PostgreSQL. So copy that command and paste it. And here we go. I'll go back to the page, and before we continue, we just need to verify the PostgreSQL version. Minimum required is 12, and I believe what we will be installing is 14. So you can see here the current version is 14.9. So we are good. Right, at this point, we are going to create the database. So I will copy that command and I will issue it here. And you can see that I'm already on the shell of the database SQL. And at this point, we can then go ahead and copy this SQL query into a notepad and paste it. And then what you need to change is the password field. That would need to reflect the very strong secure password. And then you would need to remember that. So I've done that, and I will copy this SQL query and I will paste it. And then I will hit enter. And what you need to see is an output look like that, grant. And you can see the database has been created, the role has been created, and the database has been updated. So now that we are good to go from that aspect, what you can do, you can say Control D to exit the shell query. Once you've done that, then we would need to verify the service status. And in order for us to do that, I would just need to copy this command, go back to the CLI, issue that command, and hit enter. We need to put the password that we've created, which here, this one. And you can see that we are successfully in. Now that we confirmed that the database is working as expected, we can then hit the Control D to get out of the shell and proceed to the next component. So I will go and click on the Redis option. Redis stands for Remote Dictionary Server, and it is an open source in-memory data structure store. And one of the use case that Redis can offer is the real-time analytics. So one of the reasons why NetBox uses Redis is to store and serve real-time data, such as real-time status update or dynamic network information. This is really valuable, especially when it comes to displaying up-to-date data without the need of frequently querying the database. Again, guys, if this environment has been installed already, then you can skip it. Else, I will just go ahead and copy the command from here. So once the installation is complete, then we can go ahead and verify the version. So just copy that command, go back and hit that. And you can see that the current version is 6. And if we go back, what version? So it requires at least version 4 or up, which is good. Now, the final step is to verify the server status. And what we need to do is copy that command, paste it there, and we're hoping that we receive a pong. Here we go. That's good. At this point, we can then proceed to the next component or the next requirement, which is installing NetBox. So I'll go back here and click on NetBox. And as you can see, one of the prerequisites that is required is to have at least Python 3.8 as a minimum. And to do this, you can issue the Python 3-v command, which you can find here, and then go back to your CLI, hit that, and then you can see that the current version installed in your environment. If, however, for some reason you've got a minimum or a lower version than 3.8, what you can do is you would need to update your Python interpreter and then come back and then carry on the installation process from this point. So once the Python version has been confirmed, then you can go ahead and copy the following command, which is this one. So you can copy it from this icon here, as the command is fairly long, as you can see. So I go back in there and paste the command. So when the installation is complete, we can go through the download. We can download the NetBox itself, and there are a couple of options that we can use. We have option A, where you can download the release archive, and option B, where you can clone the Git repository. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead with option B, and I will create a new directory called NetBox. Paste that command there. That is done. I'll go back and then change the directory or the current directory into NetBox, the one that I just created. Cool. And now, in order for us to install the repository, we would need to make sure that we have Git utility. I don't think I will have this, so I'm going to copy that command and paste it in there. And again, if you have this, then you don't need to install it. Okay, that has been completed. And now, in order for us to clone the master version, we would need to copy that command. And again, guys, please use this icon or make sure that you've got the full command, as there is a dot here that you barely can see it. But I'll show you what I mean. So that's the command, and you can, as you can see here, there is a dot here which indicates that you're saying pretty much that you want to copy the repository into the current directory where you're at the moment. So I will hit enter. Please be patient. Okay, right. Let's move to the next one. Yeah, we received that. And then at this point, we will need to create a NetBox system user. And in order for us to do that, I will copy all of these commands in one go and paste it here. Brilliant. That is complete. And then the next step is to copy, or actually we need to change the directory first. So do that. Okay, so what I'll do next is I'm going to copy the configuration example into configuration.python. Feel free to create your own one, but for simplicity, I'm just going to create that file based on this copy. So I will hit that command. I will hit enter. And that is being done. And the next step, what I would need to do is we need to modify a couple of variables. The first variable is the allowed hosts list, where you would need to specify the IP address and the domain name. However, if you don't have that in mind, what you can do, you can add just an asterisk, and that will allow all hosts. And that's obviously more suitable for like a lab environment. However, in the real world, you would need to kind of like be more specific about the allowed hosts. And the second variable is the database dictionary. As you can see, there is a username here called NetBox, and the password is being configured. But that will be different in your case. The username, it will stay the same, but the password will change. So what I'll do, I'll go back and try to edit that file. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to use a Vim utility, and I will show you in a minute. So I'll say sudo vim configuration.py. One of the tricks that I would like to kind of like show you guys, if you when you use Vim utility tool, is if you hit the shift colon and then you type set number, you will then be able to see the number line or the line, each line, and each line has been numbered. So I'll go down using the down arrow and go right, and then in order for me to edit the file, I would have to press the I key, and then I will put the asterisk in the middle. And then once I'm done with that, I will go down again to add the username, which it will be NetBox, and then the password, which I already created. So at this stage, we can then save the file. But in order for us to do that, you would need to hit the escape button and then shift colon again, and then issue WQ for write quit. Now the file has been saved, and we can proceed to the next step. Right, the next step is to generate a secret key, and that secret key would then need to inject it back to the configuration file. So I will copy this command and I will paste it there, hit enter, and you would need to copy that key somewhere safe and somewhere that you can come back to for future reference. So I'll copy that again and try to modify the configuration file. And if you go all the way down, right, you will see a variable called secret key. You paste that key in and then escape and save the file and quit. Without that key, the NetBox application will fail to launch. So it is very important to carry out this step. And then we're going to go through optional requirements, which I'm not going to bother with. And then finally, we will have to run the upgrade script. And what this upgrade script does, it will create a Python virtual environment. It will install all required Python packages, run the database scheme migration, and build the documentation locally. And that's obviously for offline use, and so on. So what I'll do, I will copy this command, I'll paste it there, and I will hit enter. Yeah, one of the things that I also ought to mention is that if you've got any virtual environment that is currently active, please make sure that you deactivate it first before you hit that command. Right, okay, so once the setup is complete and successful, you can proceed to the next step, which is to create a super user according to the NetBox documentation. But firstly, we will need to activate the virtual environment by issuing this command. So I'll copy that command. I'll paste it there. Hit enter. Now we can then change the directory. So I'll copy that command, paste it in there, and then go back and then try to create the super user. So, and then paste it. But I'm going to leave everything as default. The password, however, I'm going to put the password. Okay, at this point, we are good to go with the next step. And the next step is basically performing some housekeeping, deleting all the files that are not going to be in use. And to do so, we just need to copy that command, paste it in there, and hit enter. Here we go. That's done. And then at this point, we should be able to test the application. And we can issue that command in the CLI using port number 8000. So I'll hit enter. And right now, I believe is listening. So what I will do, I will open up a web browser and I'll try to log into 681.10.130. Okay, sorry, I forgot to actually put the port number as well, just to make sure that the div server is actually working. And as you can see, the NetBox server is working so far as expected. So I will go ahead and stop the development server by issuing the Control-C command, and that stopped the server. I'll click on the Gunicorn utility to proceed with the next requirement step or the next component. So for those who don't know, Gunicorn, it stands for Green Unicorn, and it is an open source and it is a Python based HTTP server that act as a web server gateway interface. This allows the backend Python server to integrate with the front end web server. I'm sure you can read more about it from the official documents. So let's get on with the installation process. So what I'll do, I will copy the configuration file first, and I will proceed with the next command. Okay. And then we will need to kind of like restart the daemon. So I'll copy that command and paste it in here. And that has been done. Next, we will need to restart NetBox. And the second command as well. Right. So at this point, what we can do is we can use this command to check the status. And what we will need to see is something like we need to see that the server is active and running. So I'll copy that command and paste it here. And as you can see, it does say active and it does say running. So again, in order for us to get out of the of that shell, I would have to press the Q button. and now I'm out. Right, at this stage, we can go ahead and proceed to the HTTP server installation. So go back to the web page and click on the HTTP server component. And this step will allow us to create a certificate for HTTP protocol. Although you can buy your own certificate from a trusted commercial provider, but you can obtain one for free from Let's Encrypt. So I'll be using this since it's a lab environment and I like free tools, guys. So I'll go ahead and copy the command and then paste it in here. Then we will need to fill out some details such as the country name, domain name, and whatnot. But I will leave everything as default. And then we're gonna proceed with the next step. And I believe the next step, yeah, it's going to install the HTTP server. And as you can see, we've got two options here. We can use Nginx or we can use Apache. What I'm going to be doing, I'm going to pick option A. So with that being said, I will copy this command. I'll paste that there. Now that is complete, I'll move to the next step. Copy this command again. Paste that there. Right. So right now we also need to reconfigure NetBox file from Nginx directory to include the server's IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this command and hit enter. And here, what we will need to do again, I'm going to set the number, and line number 5, I'm going to insert the IP address of the server, which is 192.168.110.130. So once I'm done with that, what I'll do, I'll just save it and quit. Cool. Right, and then if we go back to the documentation page, we will need to restart the Nginx. Brilliant. Okay, so at this point, I believe we have managed to install all the components that make up NetBox. And I would say now is the moment of truth where we can check if the server is up and running. So we're going to go ahead and put 192.168.0.130 and without the port number, guys. So I'm going to hit enter, and you can see that I've got the self certificate, and I'll say yes, I would like to proceed, even though I know it's unsafe. And you can see, guys, that we've managed to get the NetBox GUI, and we can log in from there. So I'll click on here, and I put the user credentials, and here you have it, folks. NetBox up and running and good to go. So in our next video, guys, I will be exploring some of the advanced features and customization options that we can explore with NetBox. So thank you very much for watching this video, and if you found this video helpful, please kindly don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech tutorials. If you have any questions or run into issues, feel free to ask in the comment below. Once again, thanks for watching. Peace.